Hi, my name is David McCrory, and today I'm going to be demonstrating how to properly test and monitor your blood glucose using an at-home glucometer kit. Why is it important for you to check your blood glucose? Well, the Centers for Disease Control states that diabetes as the seventh leading cause of death by United States citizens, and that 34.2 million Americans are walking around with diabetes. 1 in 5 of the people that you know have diabetes, and the crazy thing is, the majority of the time, they don't know it. So if you look around the room at your peers, 1 in 5 of the people that you know have diabetes, and they probably don't even know that they have it. So it's very important because uncontrolled diabetes could lead to other health issues such as heart disease, stroke, blindness, lower extremity amputations, kidney failure, and death. So if you're at risk, you definitely need to be checking and monitoring your blood glucose on a daily basis to make sure that you don't end up with one of those health factors. So I'm going to be talking about who's at risk, showing you the tools you need to check your blood glucose, and how to properly monitor and check your blood glucose. So who's at risk? Well, the American Diabetes Association, on their website, they have some guidelines, and they list 4 people who are at the greatest risk for developing diabetes. The first being anyone who has a body mass index greater than 25, 23 if you're Asian, definitely for sure should be checking their blood glucose on a daily basis, because that means they're overweight or obese, and they definitely are at high risk for developing diabetes. So you should be checking that and monitoring it on a daily basis. Now, the second one would be anyone who is 45 years of age or older, definitely need to be checking it. Women who were pregnant and had gestational diabetes should continue to monitor their blood glucose after they have their child. And then the last is if you went to your doctor and he actually told you that you're at risk, and they'll call that being pre-diabetic, and that's what I've been diagnosed as. So I keep mine under control with my nutrition. Diet and exercise is the best way, but I don't exercise a whole lot, so I control it with my diet. Keep away from carbs and sugars. So now let's talk about your tools. So if you go to your doctor and he tells you you're at risk, going to your doctor and doing your regular screenings on a regular basis, he'll do blood workup for you, and he can tell you by checking your doing a blood test on you to tell you whether or not you're diabetic or not, and then he can let you know whether you're at risk. Now, if you go and see your doctor like I did, and he told me that I was at risk for developing diabetes, my blood sugar was on the borderline of being high, so he gave me this kit. So your doctor will give you this kit, and it's really cool. It's a blood glucose kit. When you open it up, it's an on-the-go kit, so you can take it anywhere at any time. So you have your needles up here, they call them lancets. You have your lancet pin right here. It opens up and you put one of the needles in and you can dial it. If you're scared of needles, I would start at a low level of like a 1 or a 2. I put mine at 3. That's for the thickness of the skin, because you can use any finger. You're going to prick it on the side, and depending on what finger you choose, you may need to go up. If you use one of your littler fingers, you might want to dial it down. This is your machine. So you have some test strips here, and that's what your blood droplet will go on. You'll insert it into here, and your machine will give a reading. And what's cool is I found out when going to the CVS website that there is a reaction that takes place on that strip. So in your test strip, it looks like a little microchip. So if you look, and there is an agent on there called glucose oxidase. So when you take your blood and put it on there, there's a chemical reaction that'll take place, and that reaction is read in your glucometer. So that number that you get is the reaction of the blood sugar level that's in your blood. So that's your blood reacting to that glucose oxidate. When you put your test strip in, you'll see your machine comes on and beeps, and there's a little blinking blood droplet, and you'll give you about 2 minutes on here. So I'll set that on the side. This is your lancet pen. When you pull it apart, you'll see it's empty. You'll take one of these lancets, that's your needle, put it in there. These lancets are fairly inexpensive. You can get 100 of them for about $3 to $5, and you can get Amazon, any of the big box pharmacies, any of the department stores like Walmart or Target or someplace like that that'll have them, but they're pretty inexpensive. And you'll see the little needle on there. See if you can see it, but it's a little bitty. And then you'll take your cap. Sorry, it fell on the floor. Put it back on, and when you pull your pin, it activates, and it's ready to go. Wash your hands. Always want to be safe and clean. Don't want to get any infections. I'm going to use an alcohol swab though. Wipe your finger. Again, this is activated, ready to go. That's your activation button. I put it against the side of, I like to do my ring finger at a number 3. Prick it. Then you want to squeeze it a little bit and get a little bit of blood like that. Take your machine. Make sure you put the blood right on the landing strip. When you do, you'll hear it beep. You'll see the little arrow going back and forth. I'm shaking, but that's okay. I'm at a 121, which is good because a good reading would be on an empty stomach in the morning should be 100 to 119. Now I'm doing this in the evening after eating all day, but that's a good reading. It's at 121. You don't want to go above 150 during the day. So, and you never want to check right after you've eaten a meal because you're going to get a fake reading. So anyways, that's how you go ahead and check your blood glucose. And again, it's very important because this is a silent killer. You could be walking around, you could be one of those 1 in 5 people that have diabetes and not even know it. So it's very important that if you're in that high risk factor area, that you check and monitor your blood glucose because you want to stay healthy. And so I want you to live a long, healthy life. So stay safe and be good.